y'all would like, but I just hold my vote.
Good afternoon.
So, yep.
Appreciate if the people in the hallway, if we gonna keep the doors open, you need to be silent out there because we want everybody to. Appreciate if everybody out in the hallway kind of, I understand you're gonna talk some, but kind of keep it down. We want everybody to hear what's going on. Can you hear now, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I'd like to call the April 14th Calhoun County Council meeting to order. Ms. Bonnette, would you give us the invocation, please?
All right, let us pray. That is too loud. Dear Father, as I serve this community on council, I pray for wisdom and compassion. Please guide each of us to listen to the voices of our citizens and make council reflect kindness, fairness, and commitment to serving others. Bless Calhoun County and the people that live here. Amen.
Amen.
Have a motion for approval of the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Properly moved and second. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise. Let me just say this before we start. Public comments. I don't know how many people you got there, John, but the public comments, the maximum is going to be 3 minutes. I want you to identify yourselves when you come up there and say where you're from. And the time limit's going to be 30 minutes. We won't go over 30 minutes. So if you were here early and got to sign early, we may hear you, we may not hear you tonight. So it's going to be 3 minutes is the maximum, and 30 minutes is the time limit we got on. I just want to say that this is under my administration. We just started even letting you have public comments. That was a thing in the past. We didn't have them. We want to hear from the citizens. We want to hear from them. It's not that we're trying to hide. We want to hear from you. But I'm saying we can't be down here all night just hearing one subject or one or two subjects. I mean, the council have other business to attend to. So right now, John, you can say who's first on the agenda.
Mr. Jody Howard.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
My name's Jody Howard. I live at 139 Hidden Trail. I've been a resident of Sandy Run since 1997. We, the people of Sandy Run, the taxpayers of Calhoun County, the people who put you, the council, where you are now, are sick and tired of this council's tirades. We strongly oppose the proposed new ordinance for consolidated Sandy Run Fire District.
Let me stop you right now.
I'm going on, sir. You're not gonna stop me.
Sir, I'm running this.
Since
Let me stop.
1981,
Sir,
the fire district has been running efficiently and effectively, serving the citizens of Sandy Run and those who pass through with a service and professional attitude that cannot be denied. Why is it so important that it be dissolved? It seems to me, I have a right to read this.
Sir, I want you.
I have a right to read this. I have 3 minutes. In 3
No, you don't
minutes,
have the
I
right
can
to
be
do
done.
anything. I want him out.
No, you're taking away my rights as a citizen of Calhoun County.
I want you out. There's a
We voted you in. I have a right to speak.
You didn't vote me in, but we want
Yes,
you out of here.
we
We're
did.
going by the rules.
Well, I'm going
You're
by
not-
the rules too.
You're not going to attack this council.
I haven't attacked no council, not the first time.
You're wasting time for the 30 minutes.
I
for
haven't
people to
attacked
tell
the
you that
council,
right
not the
now.
first time.
Because after 6 o'clock, we will not hear anybody else.
All
If
of
you
these
want-
right myself,
Yeah.
every one of them.
Okay.
Try something. Do it y'all would. Look on y'all's hands.
Okay, again, like I said, we got 30 minutes, applause and stuff, that's fine, you can do that. 6 o'clock, we will cut this public comments out. John, who you got next?
Miss Karen Basso.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
My name is Karen Basso. I live at 783 Baker Mill Lake Lane in Baker Mill Lake subdivision. My husband and I moved to Calhoun County to Sandy Run in 1986. So we have been taxpayers for almost 4 decades. Unfortunately, he passed away about 5 years ago. I had friends who wanted me to move back to Columbia, but I love Sandy Run. I love living here. I love the services that we get, the peacefulness of the county, and especially of Sandy Run. And I want to say, in my reading of the ordinance under discussion tonight, unfortunately, I don't see any benefit to the taxpayers of Sandy Run. So I have to say that I am not in support of this ordinance, and I respectfully ask County Council to think about the taxpayers here who are paying toward the fire district and the benefit that we're currently getting. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, who's next?
Miss Beth Johnson. Miss Beth Johnson, okay.
Hey, Beth, speak into the microphone closely.
Like this?
Yeah, real close, it's hard to hear.
Okay. I'm Beth Johnston. I live at 745 Baker Mill Lake Lane in Sandy Run. I've been here since 2007, although I'm a native of Columbia. Came out here hunting and fishing since I was a little girl with my grandfather and father, who owned property down around Little Beaver Creek. So the area is familiar from childhood, but I've only lived here since '07. I'd like to say that I'm opposed strongly to the fire ordinance as it's written, particularly for two reasons. I'm certainly against dissolving the Sandy Run Fire District, which was voted on by the community. The ordinance shows no valid needed benefits to our community to be gained by dissolving the district. We have a successfully functioning volunteer group of well-trained and equipped firefighters. Secondly, I'm against the ludicrous fire tax increase, if I read correctly, 428%, proposed to the Sandy Run district, which is supposed to be non-existent. The ordinance does not intend to keep the monies in Sandy Run, yet again, showing no benefits to those who are paying the horrible increase. This appears to be politics as usual. We have a hard-earned, successful volunteer fire department, probably the best in the county. It doesn't show any benefits, this ordinance doesn't show any benefits to our Sandy Run community, rather the opposite. Please don't destroy a good thing that the people have worked hard to create and voted on to have. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mr. Randy Coleman.
Evening, I'm Randy Coleman, Fire Chief, Fort Mott Fire Department.
Speaking to the microphone, please. Speaking to the microphone, please.
Okay. Is that better?
Yes, sir. That's what.
All the fire departments are rated by ISO in the county from class 1 to 10. All Calhoun stations started out at a class 9 originally, which is the lowest rating a fire department can attain without losing credibility. These ratings are all based on the 5 road mile rule, which means you have to have every residence within 5 road miles of a fire station. In order to ensure we help as many homeowners as possible over the years, some fire departments have added fire stations. Belleville has added a station, Calhoun has added a station, Fort Mott has added 3 stations. Sandy Run remains at 1 station. In early 2010, insurance companies mandated that local agents start using GIS mapping to determine the 5 road mile limit. They also started using the correct ISO rating for the out-of-town areas of the towns. This was in contrast to the old method, which was basically guessing on what 5 road miles meant. They generally drew a circle around the fire station, and it could be 6 miles to a station. Please be advised that fire stations have not moved. We in the rural fire district have added stations to provide our rural fire district property owners the benefit of having a fire station within those 5 road miles. With the exception of inside the town limits of Cameron and St. Matthews, we all started out in the 70s and early 80s by accepting donations from citizens in our coverage area. The town fire departments were tax-based funded inside the city limits and sold contracts outside the city limits. In the early 80s, Sandy Run started collecting 2 mills of tax from their area annually. The millage included all taxable property in Sandy Run. In 1985, County Council passed an ordinance that started collecting a volunteer fire fee for areas currently called the Rural Fire District. The fire district jurisdictional boundary lines are designated by tax block lines. The Fire fees were only added to property with improvements. No land, no vehicles, only property with improvement. The fees were then dispersed to the responsible fire department according to what tax map block property owner was assigned. The property owner had the option of having the fire fee removed at that time. Fire department having responding to a fire on his property could collect a service charge of up to $500. This process was time consuming and it was not productive for community public relations to go and try to get $500 from somebody. In 2006, County Council adopted a 1 cent local option sales tax. Council agreed to provide 29% of that tax to the fire service, all fire departments in the county and towns.
Randy, I'm sorry, your time is up.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Ken Willis.
Good evening. My name's Ken Willis. I live up in the Sandy Run area. I am against the way this action is going down. I am for the betterment of the community. The way the Calhoun County wants to progress through this area, many of Sandy Run and many of the rest of the county area does not want to progress as quickly as St. Matthews and this council wishes it for it to happen. Watching, as I grew up in the fire service, while I watched volunteer stations just get absorbed through paid people, and it was never a good transaction. It was always very quick, very blunt. There was never a quick, easy transition into that area. The way that this is being done is very improper. It's going to aggravate a very big anthill across the entire county as far as how people react, what other activities and other stuff goes on throughout this area as far as being able to provide current customer service throughout the fire service. I propose that y'all back this up, take a step back, and reorganize on how to do this. Like I said, I'm not against bettering the safety of the people, but the way that this is going on is not the way to do it. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Miss Amy Hill.
Okay, can everybody hear me? All right. Good evening, council. For those that don't know me, my name is Amy Hill, and I am representing the Hill family from Sandy Run this evening. Not long ago, this county went through a state-mandated property reassessment. In some cases, that led to higher taxes. Then council made the decision to raise property taxes again, doubling the financial strain on Calhoun County residents. And now here we are again. The county is proposing yet another increase, this time through a fire fee hike tied to a new ordinance. From what I've seen, and the best I can tell, this 18 mil increase is a guess. It doesn't take into account actual contract negotiations. You don't know what the separate fire districts will demand, and if this ordinance passes, I wouldn't be surprised if that number ends up even being higher. I urge you to take a real look at the median income in Calhoun County. Over and over, you've approved tax hikes, and they continue to add up. From where some of you sit, these increases might seem manageable, but all these people you represent do not feel that way. The reality is many of your constituents simply can't afford these repeated increases. Calhoun County has had dedicated fire volunteers serving our communities for decades. Sandy Run has over 40 volunteers providing reliable and cost-effective service since 1981. There is no evidence that 4 paid fire staff members will improve response times. As a matter of fact, our volunteers have always responded to the community's needs. The fact that this ordinance is stating our volunteers will face jail time and fines if they choose not to sign a contract and continue fighting fires is beyond overreach. This type of mandate has no place in this county. Citizens deserve leadership that listens, acts with care, and demonstrates fiscal responsibility. I urge you to table this ordinance. Our citizens are already stretched. It doesn't have to go this way. If this ordinance moves forward, it will not be remembered as a win for the people. And if this becomes your legacy, then be assured your constituents will remember who stood behind it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
John, who's John?
Mr. John Nelson.
Nelson, John.
I'm back. Ladies and gentlemen, as a former 12-year councilman and ongoing resident property owner in Calhoun County, I want to appeal to you today to make a wise decision on the future of the vital network of our rural fire departments in the county. Residents in the county volunteer to respond to well over 1,000 calls a year, and who support them is vital to the unfortunate souls, residents, non-residents of this county who are having a bad day. The proposed ordinance you are considering will result in great disruption and reduction of volunteer firefighting group while adding a huge property tax burden to the residents of Calhoun County. Additionally, it will dissolve the Fire Department Special District Sandy Run that was voted on by residents in 1978. This dissolution, combined with the massive increase in property taxes, will result in the transfer of hundreds of thousands of tax dollars that are in our district to go to St. Matthews to be redistributed by the county council. The proposed increase in fire tax millage from 4.2 to 18 mills in Sandy Run will increase the annual property tax burden Ms. Pegg and I have to pay, increase it by $800. Property owners countywide will be compelled to absorb similar property tax increases should this be passed. The dismissive manner in which this proposal has been authored and brought forward to the council for 3 readings is very disturbing. The resultant proposed ordinance will transfer ownership of fire trucks, equipment from the various rural fire district departments in the county. All the current fire boards, commissions will be dissolved, replaced by a new 9-member rural fire commission. All of these will be selected by county council. Going forward, all meaningful firefighting decisions will be made in St. Matthews. The remnants of our various fire departments will be compelled to sign contracts with the county to continue providing same level of volunteer firefighting services before, whether they concur with the county takeover or not. According to county lawyers, volunteer firefighters from departments who refuse to sign a contract will be subject to arrest, prosecution, fines, and imprisonment. They show up to the scene to assist if this ordinance is passed. The cumulative effect of the my way or the highway approach from the county is having a chilling effect on our many volunteers. Subsequently, the number of volunteers willing to show up at scenes where they're critically needed will drop precipitously. Within a few weeks or a few months, the 4 paid firefighters called on for this ordinance will be swamped and unable to cover the countywide response request. Last year, Calhoun and Sandy Run departments responded to a total of over 800 calls, many on I-26. The major widening project in I-26 at exits between exits 125 and 136 will only increase the volume over the next several years. Given this increase, the need for emergency fire services, we cannot afford to lose even one volunteer firefighter. Rather, we need to increase their numbers, and you should vote to support proposed ordinance.
Mr. Nelson, time's up. Thanks, sir.
So I sat up there for 12 years. You're not going to let me give you the recommendation?
Also, I got to treat everybody fairly. 3 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I got some recommendations for you here. I still got y'all's phone number. Maybe I'll be giving you a call.
You're infringing on other people's time. You got 3 minutes. And
Miss Ida Culler.
who's next, John?
Miss Ida Culler.
Ms. Culler.
I am Ida Kohler. I live on Valley Ridge Road, and I won't tell you how many years I've lived there, but it's been since I took my first breath, so I'll let y'all figure that out. I agree with everything that's been said, but I'm going to put it on a little more personal level. There are elderly people in our county living on Social Security, some of whom get less than $1,000 a month. These were farmers that were farmers. They didn't have a second well-paying job that added to their Social Security. Out of that $1,000 a month, they have to pay for electricity. We all know electricity can run $300–400 a month. Their food, and probably the biggest expense for most of them is medicine. Some prescriptions cost these people $700–800 a month. Think about that math. They only get $1,000. They're already in debt. That hasn't even gotten to taxes yet. And now, let's think about the other expenses that are facing everybody in this room and you all. These tariffs that are being proposed. If you haven't been to the store lately, I suggest you go. What cost you $1 last week will probably cost you $2 this week. And that's probably minimal compared to what we're going to see. Heaven help us all if your car breaks down, you need a new car, or if these valuable things we carry in our pockets and we talk on, that's going to cost you more. Remember, there are people living on less than $1,000 a month in our communities. Don't get me wrong, I am all for doing anything that benefits our fire departments. I said benefit, not just something to make y'all look good or make them go under a different rule. Our volunteers in Sandy Run are the best. They love what they do, and they do a darn good job at what they do. The problem here is that you all want to reconstruct them all, tearing down our wonderful volunteers to redo the county. It seems to me that every time y'all do something, the Sandy Run community comes out on the short end of the stick. I just ask that you think about what you're doing and where this is going to lead you all, as well as everybody in Calhoun County. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Justin Conley.
Mr. Chairman, respectfully, I would like to yield my time to Mr. Nelson if that's possible.
As I was saying, should you vote to support the proposed ordinance, you will immediately lose the services of 43 volunteer firefighters in Sandy Run. What you should be doing is taking action to maintain this growing pool of volunteer firefighters. Otherwise, you will most certainly be raising our property taxes again next year and beyond to hire about 30 total firefighters, paid firefighters that you're going to need based on ISO to run the department you're trying to set up and meet their requirement. Going forward, you simply cannot place such a large burden to Calhoun County property tax owners to fund firefighters when we currently have a volunteer system that is not broken. It is working. Right. Our county only has 15,000 or so residents. We simply don't have the numbers to support the primary paid firefighter cadre compared to, say, Lexington County that has about 310,000 residents. Also, please consider that about 30–40% of the scene calls that our firefighters respond to involve people who don't even live in Calhoun County. And unless some of these folks have previously stopped by the county to purchase retail items like food, gas, snacks, they would have gotten all of their firefighter services for free. So that's why I previously supported the county referendum to consider the capital project sales tax, CPST. Among other things, this voter-approved tax buys fire trucks, ambulances, fire stations, and other capital equipment is necessary for county services. The CPST funds do much to offset the need to raise property taxes, even for other county services. No doubt you will be coming to us in the 2026 election cycle to approve an extension of the current CPST. But should you decide to go forward with this draconian property tax increase, it is highly unlikely that the voters will vote to extend that CPST next year. Here's what you need to do. Vote against this proposed fire district reorganization and the associated large millage increase. Go back to the fire departments and enlist their help in coming up with a better plan. Maintain the structure of the various county rural fire departments as they currently exist with their sources of funding, millage, and fees. In coordination with the various departments, establish a baseline of funding for each department based on its size and area of responsibility. Use reasonable look-back period of 3 to 5 years to establish an added amount of funding based on the historic call volume. If absolutely needed, raise mills countywide no more than 5 mills to cover the costs that are mentioned above. Widely publicize the increased millage to do it in support and why that will support and help enhance the fire departments. And finally, and probably most importantly, look for ways to highlight and recognize the services of volunteer departments and recognize publicly those most noteworthy call responses on a monthly and quarterly basis. This will go a long way to maintain and build the numbers of your volunteer firefighter countywide. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate it.
The last one is Dennis Spildy.
Council members, good evening. Don't you just love being council today?
Speak into the microphone.
Yes, Ginger.
Thank you.
Okay. I've heard a lot of interesting ideas come out of this meeting. I did talk to somebody just recently, and they said they had had conversations. Well, it turns out all the conversations were with the fire departments, and they were not with any citizens. This is going to affect every Tom, Dick, and Harry there is in Calhoun County, especially Sandy Run. What I would suggest you do is put this on abeyance for 2 months and greatly encourage every single community to have meetings at the local level with the people, not with the fire people, but with the local people, and let them ask in plain English what's going on. To be honest about it, I don't quite understand what's going on, but I think you need to put it in hold and let the people have their meetings and just listen to the speakers and then ask them questions before you proceed further. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Phillips. This in this section of the council meeting, the public comments. I entertain a motion for approval of the March 24th, 2025 regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moving second. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise, the ayes have it. Appointments, the Calhoun County Library
Into the
Board.
microphone. It's hard to hear, but
Man, I wish I could get you a seat right there. Pen. Anyway, okay,
thank you.
can you hear now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Appointments, Calhoun County Library Board of Trustees, reappointments. Sheila, you want, one of y'all, you want to explain that a little bit on these reappointments?
Yes, sir. These are the 7 members appointed by County Council. The members of reappointment request to you are Miss Betty James, Miss Ann Thornton, Miss Mary Jo Spires, Miss Kay James, Miss Karen Montgomery, and Miss Helen Lindsay.
Okay, and I just wanted to explain that we do have staggered terms on this, so everybody term won't be up at one time.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we appoint the 6 members that have been presented back to the
Second.
library.
Properly moving second. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise, the ayes have it. We have an appointment, Wayne Pound of Jumper Station to Calhoun County Fire Commission. They have a motion for approval.
So moved. Second.
Properly moving second that Mr. Wayne Pound of Jumper Station be appointed to the Calhoun County Fire Commission. Any further discussion?
It's Wyatt Pound. Wyatt.
Wyatt, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Wyatt Pound. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise, the ayes have it. Under appearance, anybody have any more appointments first? Nobody? No, sir. Okay. Under appearances, Mr. Mary Dixon, Miss Mary Dixon. Mrs. Okay. Soil and Water Conservation District, Ag and Art Tour update.
Council, thank you for having me. My name is Mary Dixon, and thank you all for listening about the Ag and Art Tour that's coming on May 17th to Calhoun County. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. I work for the Calhoun Soil and Water Conservation District, and we work with schools, we work with the Ruritans to promote conservation in our county. We are just a county organization. We do not work statewide like DNR. We're solely focused on the county. We last year directly touched over 3,500 youth and adults with programs on school gardens, birds, plantings. You might have seen pictures in the Calhoun Times about the gopher tortoises that came to the schools. But that's enough about me. That's what I do, if you're wondering why I'm up here. I have been asked to talk to you about Calhoun County's first Ag and Art Tour, which, as I said, is going to be on Saturday, May 17th, from 10 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. Has anybody heard of the Ag and Art Tour? Have you ever been to Richard, you've heard of the Ag and Art Tour? Have you been to an Ag and Art Tour? Well, let me tell you a little bit about it. That's why I'm here today. Ag and Art is a free, it's all free, self-guided tour of farms and markets that feature local artists at every stop. During the tour, visitors have the opportunity to see firsthand where their food comes from, see unique local artists and purchase their work, hear local musicians, and just enjoy a day outside. The tour is the largest free farm and art tour in the country. This year, there are 22 South Carolina counties participating. This will be the first year for Calhoun County, and we're real excited. Here are a few facts. This Clips and Extension puts together this tour statewide, and these are some data that they compiled from last year's tour. In 2024, the tour attracted 27,300 people. It engaged 300 volunteers. There were 176 tour farm sites and 350 artisans across 20 counties, all from the top of the state to the bottom of the state. The 2024 tour had a substantial economic impact, with 88% of attendees making purchases from tour hosts and artisans. 88%. Collectively, the tour recorded sales of approximately $1,300,000 statewide. Most importantly, to me at least, is the educational impact of the tour. 88% of attendees making purchase, is the tour's educational impact. 22% of the tour visitors, that's 27,000 people, 22% of them said it was their first time visiting a working farm, and 15% said they met a local artisan for the first time. The tour also serves as a multi-generational activity for families. So let me wrap up by sharing a little bit about our Calhoun County Ag and Art Tour on May 17th. We have 5 tour sites: Golden Kernel Pecan Company, Edisto Blueberry Farm, Lone Star Plantation, Arrowhead Farm, and Doodle Hill Farm. We have a great variety of activities, from blueberry picking to the famous ukuleles. They'll be playing their music. If you haven't heard the ukuleles, you need to hear them. They're really good. We've got horse riding demos, we've got pony petting, we've got experts on beef cattle and hay baling, and we've even got ice cream trucks. We got a lot more than that too. I can't even begin to tell you everything we've got. What we really need, and I'm so glad you all are here, we need your help in spreading the word about the Calhoun County Ag Art Tour on May 17th from 10 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. We have a Facebook page. If you're on Facebook, it's Ag and Art Tour of Calhoun County. We have a billboard by the BP station and in Orangeburg by the Ferry dealership. We'll be doing radio ads. We already did some in February, but we'll be starting radio ads on Cat Country 105.3. But as you all know, word of mouth is the best advertising. And we need your words, and we need your mouth to let everybody in Calhoun County, and your friends in Richland County, and your friends in Lexington County, and your friends in Pickens County, to know that on May 17th from 10 to 4, Calhoun County is the place to be on our art tour. Councilman, you should have received an invitation to our May 1st launch party. Please RSVP to Vivian. Bring a friend, bring 2 friends. We'd love to see you there. It's going to be a launch party and a trading session for our volunteers, our tour sites, and we'd love to have you. I have a brochure to give out to you, and if you need more information, my office is right over here in the Ag Building, and you can come see me anytime, but you can also go to the state website, which is agandarttour.com. It's a really, really good website, one of the best ones I've ever seen. You can click on Calhoun County. You can see all the farms are listed, and eventually you'll be able to see what artisans. I know you want to know where that ice cream truck's going to be. I've got 2. So you'll be able to know where that's going to be and see when the horse riding demo is, and so on and so forth. Right now, we are putting around town these brochures that are kind of hot off the press that I'm going to give you to hand out, Richard. And does anybody have any questions?
Anybody have any questions?
What's the time of it?
Pardon me?
What's the time on Saturday?
10 to 4.
10 to 4.
It is a self-guided tour. It's all free. So you can go to all the tour sites, or you can pick a couple of tour sites you want to go to. It's really going to be, we've got kids' activities from painting rocks and gourds to a sand pit over at the Blueberry Farm. We've got musicians lined up. I think it's going to be great. And we've got a great committee putting a lot of time and hard work into it. So hope to see all of you there. Hope to see all of you there. And I will, if you don't have any questions, I will give it over to the next people. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Mayor.
Thank you for what y'all do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No more appearances. Under new business, we have Fort Mart fire truck approval required.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. This truck was ordered by Fort Mott back in January of '23. The total cost on the truck was $513,199. That's going to be paid by Fort Mott funds, $100,000 from Fort Mott funds, $20,000 from fire district funds, leaving a balance of $393,199. The balance will be paid with a FEMA grant that's been applied for and received by Chief Randy Coleman. Currently, the grant is on hold for review, and we are not sure when it's going to be released, but we feel like it will be. The backup to the grant is proposed to be a 7-year lease financed by Truist Bank. The lease would be a 7-year at 4.66%. Annual payments would be around $68,000 a year. And ultimately, if the grant does come through, the lease would pay that off. The request here is for the approval of the fire truck.
I make a motion that we approve the fire truck for Fort Mart Fire.
Second.
Properly moved to second. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise, the ayes have it. Have anything else on the new business, John?
No, sir.
Okay. You mind reading the ordinance for me?
Yes, sir. I can. Ordinance 2025-5, second reading, an ordinance amending Chapter 30 of the Code of Ordinance of Calhoun County regarding the fire prevention and protection to reconstitute the Calhoun County Rural Fire District, eliminating all existing fire protection areas, appropriating funds to effect the remediation of any outstanding bonds and other obligations, requesting and accepting dedication of of county-funded fire capital equipment and facilities, and other matters related thereto.
We have a motion for approval, second reading on ordinance 2025-5.
So moved.
There's a second.
Second reading now.
Second reading, yes.
Second.
Properly moving second that we approve, second reading on ordinance 2025-5. Any further discussion?
Yes, sir. I motion that we table this because it is a lot for everybody to take in. I look at myself as a representative, not a leader. These people out here is who we represent. And we are a voice for the citizens. They live, work, and raise families in this county. The proposal to consolidate our fire department under county control will be a major, major change, and it's a step in the wrong direction. It's just too much. Our residents are already feeling the weight of repeated tax hikes. This council has raised taxes multiple times, and people are stretched thin. I want to remind you the property value assessment followed by our property tax increase in a fairly recent and short period of time, both resulted in tax increase no matter how you spin it. This plan would increase the burden even more. An increase in fire fees for a consolidated fire district comes at a high cost, and that cost falls squarely on all the taxpayers. I want to be very clear, the value of our current volunteer firefighters cannot be overstated. They respond to calls day and night, not for a paycheck, but for commitment to the community. They've proven their effectiveness time and time again. There's not any solid evidence that moving to a consolidated county-controlled model would improve response times. A minimum of 2 people is still needed per call, whether they're volunteers or on a payroll. What the proposal does guarantee is more government control and more taxpayer expense without any clear benefit. It's about trust, and our citizens trust their volunteers. They trust that their voices will be heard by council. We cannot ignore these people. This plan has not been properly vetted, and the millage is a guess at best. Simply, the majority of the voters do not want this increase. I urge you to reject or table the proposal today and protect what is already working. Support our volunteers and remember who we work for.
Any more discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise, the ayes have it.
Wait a minute, was that the vote on the motion, was that the motion on the motion to table?
No, not the motion to table. She didn't make the motion to table, she just made comments.
Okay,
We had a motion and a second on the order.
okay.
That was her public
I
comment.
voted in favor of the ordinance.
Yeah. I think we had a majority vote just now.
All right.
John, next ordinance.
Yes, sir. Ordinance 2025-6.
Let me just let you all know, this is a county council meeting, not a public meeting, for public address. I'll address you later if somebody has some comments on something. John, we're going to the next ordinance, the next ordinance. Well, that's too bad, man.
Oh, you don't care?
No, I don't. Let's go to ordinance, let's go to the next ordinance.
Ordinance 2025-6.
They don't care, let's go, they don't care, come on.
Yeah, y'all follow your leader.
Listen to it again.
We could not hear you.
Let me let the crowd disperse and then we'll finish. That wasn't a motion you made, that was comment. His motion was on the floor.
Oh, I thought she was,
No, she didn't say she.
That was comment.
That was comment she made.
oh, I thought she was.
Yeah, that was the motion.
Making a motion, okay, that was what was blowing my mind.
People don't understand parliamentary procedure, that's why I tell them, read this handbook.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure that my vote was put in.
Somebody would have had to second her motion if she made another motion.
Right, okay.
Would you like to go ahead, Chairman?
I'd like him to close that door. Thanks, sir. Let me just explain, we did have a motion, a second. Rebecca was just commenting. That wasn't any motion she made. Because we would have had to take other action if that was a motion.
Yeah, I was getting clarification.
Yeah, I just want to clear that we didn't, we're not trying to run over anything. All right. Second reading on ordinance, the next ordinance, John.
Ordinance 2025-6, second reading, an ordinance to change the zoning designation of TMS 022-00-00-011, 012, 016, 017, 018, from rural neighborhood to industrial.
We have a motion that we approve second reading on ordinance 2025-6.
So, second.
Properly moved and second. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise, the ayes have it.
Ordinance 2025-7, first reading, an ordinance amending section 611 of the Calhoun County sign ordinance.
Motion for approval of first reading on ordinance 2025-7.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise, the ayes have it. John, before I get to you, I see we have Dr. Mulliner from Lower Savannah. You have anything you want to bring to the council?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and council members. I think I lost my audience. I just wanted to let you all know on May 6th, from 5 to 7, we'll be having a long-range transportation plan in Sandy Run that evening. Like I say, May 6th, from 5 to 7. It's going to be at the Sandy Run
Complex.
Sandy Run Complex. What we're going to be talking about is working with the long-range transportation plan, the different projects on corridors and intersections here in Calhoun County. What are your problem points and all that? We take all that information, we do some analysis, and we figure out where the top projects within the region that we know we have to put money towards. And so that's what we're going to be doing on that evening, actually afternoon and early evening. And anybody who would like to come, we'd love to have you. We wanted to make sure it was at Sandy Run. We're having another one 2 days later. That one will be in Holly Hill. So we're trying to hit the extremes of our region. And then our final meeting will be over in Williston. But just wanted to let you know that that is going on. We're real excited about being here and having that project kick off here in Calhoun County on Sandy Run. And that's it, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
John, we're down to you.
Yes, sir. I just have one thing, Mr. Chairman. Of course, reminding everybody about the Purple Martin Festival, not this weekend, but the next. That's Friday and Saturday, the 25th, 26th. If you have any questions, please notify the county.
Okay, that's it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We're down to executive session. We have
Got some.
we have something before.
I would like to publicly thank Sammy Locklear, who owns Locklear's Farm Supply in Gaston. She donated $2,000 to our animal shelter a couple months ago, so I want to thank her for that publicly.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, you ready for a motion on executive
Yeah,
session?
executive session. Let me list, are you gonna list what we're going into?
I'll go listen.
All right, go ahead and list.
Mr. Chairman, I move we go into executive session for personnel matter, contractual matter involving fire, economic development matter involving Project Holy Grail 2, and a contractual matter involving Economic Development Corporation.
Okay. Ken, John, do we need anybody except staff to stay in that meeting, just staff and
Just
council?
staff, yes, sir.
Are
just
we
staff.
gonna be bringing anything out?
No, sir.
And we're not gonna bring anything out, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, did I get a second?
Second.
Properly moved and second that we go into executive session to discuss personnel matter, the contract matter, with fire, economic development matter, and a contract matter. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Thank everyone for coming. We appreciate y'all. Please come back.
Thank you. Where are we going?
No.
Stay.